Tactical Command, this is Sword. We are inbound on final approach. I say again, on final.
Welcome to the New York State Police exhibit. If I can draw your attention to the man standing on the roof in the middle of the tower, he is our host for this show. South Central's team leader, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 12 of the Great New York State Fair.
Yeah!
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, especially those of you that sat through that dog show and that awkward photo session for no other reason than to secure prime seats for this, the best show at the exhibit, guaranteed not to give you fleas. We are SORT. SORT is the tactical element for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations you would expect a SWAT team to conduct. High-risk felony warrants, drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situations, dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks you wouldn't necessarily associate with a SWAT team, to include search and rescue, specifically high-angle rappelling, and rope rescue, which is what we're demonstrating here today. Our team was formed all the way back in 1979 as a counterterrorism unit in anticipation of the Winter Olympics in 1980 in Lake Placid. At that time, there were 3 teams spread out across the state. There was a part-time detail, and they were called the Mobile Response Team, or MRT. Since then, we've undergone several evolutions. In 2008, we changed our name to SORT, added 2 teams, and became a full-time detail. Our guys don't work the road anymore. Those 5 teams spread out across the state are responsible for maintaining their own equipment, all the way from the large pieces, like that Lenco armored Bearcat over there in the grass, all the way down to our individual pieces of equipment, like our climbing harnesses. On the front of each guy's harness, you're going to notice a piece of equipment. It's called our Figure 8, or our 8. That's our descent device. The rope is threaded through that. The top hand on that rope's just a guide hand. Keeps us upright. The one back here on our hip, that's the money maker, that's our brake hand. As we move that away from our hip, it allows the rope to freely flow through the device. That's when we let gravity do its job, and we refer to that as letting her eat. Put it back towards your hip, puts friction on that device, slowing and eventually stopping us. But telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them. Up on the left side of the tower from the South Central team, our cross-trained scuba diver, Trooper Calvin Baywatch Lee. In the center from North Central, our statewide communications expert from North Central, Trooper Cole, don't call me radio, Subat. And on the right side of the tower, also from North Central, Trooper Chris, if you like dogs, how do you like these puppies? Lincoln! Down here on the ropes, you've got North Central's assistant team leader, Sergeant Ryan Stitch Ordway. In that top window, spinning our beats, fresh off his European tour where he played clubs from Milan to Minsk, their DJ, Trooper Matt, the Corn Dog Cornish. And signing our show today with the hand speed of a cheetah and the reflexes of a mongoose on Red Bull, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah. And last but certainly not least, also from North Central, Matt, the laser, Hold up, bud. Don't come down quite yet. Those of you that are veterans of the show know we usually have them come down in pairs. However, this time the cheese stands alone for a reason. Matt is being volunteered to act as a demonstrator. So, like I said, we feather those brakes and land ever so gently. However, as the fair progresses, the guys like to entertain and occupy themselves up there. So we'll put that hand a little bit further from our hip than we should. Maybe open that hand a little wider than we should. And then sometimes when you're really letting it eat, your hand could hit one of these loops or twists that develop in the rope. That happens, that rope could pop out of your hand. You lose your brakes on the thruway, that's a bad day on the road, right? He loses his brakes up there, that's a bad day on the ropes. But that's what leads me to Sergeant Ordway here. Ryan's not trying to be rude or antisocial. He's not just showing you his back to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. I'm gonna hit the infirmary, get you a Band-Aid, brother, because you are cut. All right, yeah, I'm keeping it, dude. As our most proficient and most experienced rope guy, he has the oh so important yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of those guys loses their brake hand on the way down, he's gonna pull on that rope, putting friction on their device, slowing, and hopefully stopping it. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So Matt's gonna do me a salad. He's gonna take a couple steps back, he's gonna get a running start, and he's gonna throw himself off that roof with no hands on the rope. He's gonna flying squirrel it, hurtling towards Earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second, until at the very last moment, Sergeant Ordway, if he is physically able and so inclined, will use his cat-like reflexes and raw power to engage the belay, stopping Matt mere moments from certain death, or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only gonna need the edge. This part's gonna be awesome. You ready, Matt? You loose, brother? Down from 3, just like we practiced. 3, 2, 1.
What are you doing? Watch.
What's the matter? What are you doing, Ryan?
Demolition Derby.
Nobody's helping? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That is not Ryan. Folks, I'm sorry. Give me a minute here. Hey, bud. How you doing? What's your name? What is it? Nikolai? All right, Nikolai. Did he tell you what to do? He did. What did he tell you to do? Just hold this probably, right? He gave you the advanced course. All right, don't worry about it, Nikolai. What's your belay success rate? Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. I see the shield. I love it. After today, your belay success rate will either be 0 or 100. Nikolai is going to establish his belay success rate today. This is very exciting. So what's going to happen is Matt's going to jump and you just pull on the rope, okay? It's easy, no problem. Like he jumps, you pull, right? On the first bounce, second bounce. Doesn't really matter. At some point, just pull the rope. He'll stop eventually. You know what I'm saying? All right, Nikolai's locked in, brother. I think we're good to go. What do you say, Matt? As a police officer, we're trained to pick up on body language. That is not a promising sign. Oh, you heard the bounces? I asked you to go ahead and earmuff it when the adults are talking. Oh, boy. All right, what do I got to do to get you down here? Sergeant Ordway maybe just does the one thing that he's supposed to do. Maybe that help? Ryan, what do you think, bud? Want to help out? He did forget about yesterday. Head trauma will do that. Sergeant Ordway does have an established belay success rate. 68% of the time, it works every time. So between Ryan and Nikolai, because you're our backup, I think we're good to go. What do you say? Oh, and a third control measure is getting put into place. This is the Mary Poppins technique, we call it. What do you say? You ready now? All right, folks, let's give Matt a little encouragement. All right, let's count him down from 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Again, those of you veterans of the show know I usually tell this joke that we try to get them closer every show. If we get them any closer than that, we will not have a Labor Day show. Outstanding. And Nikolai, for not letting our guy burn in, even though you made it close. There's one Trooper Bear, courtesy of the NYST PBA tent over there. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. It's here for our belay guy. As you saw at the end of that demonstration, it's very easy to get into a precarious position up there. Gravity does not take an instant off. However, if you get twisted up or in a bad spot, as long as you keep your head, as long as you keep your cool, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're gonna be okay. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Cal and Cole who are gonna come on down. All right, you saw them both come down on that same standard seated hip rappel that everyone else has used. But now they're going to transition their brake hand from their strong side to their support side. This is going to allow them to go ahead and invert. So now even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not going to smash face first into this beautifully manicured turf. This is what we call the commando crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body parts through a window. But once they've gone far enough, they can go ahead and revert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Complete with the superhero landing, ladies and gentlemen, the invert. Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to pick up on an overarching theme out here, and that's safety. We're dealing with heights, we're dealing with extreme angles, we're dealing with hard and sharp edges. It's inherently dangerous. If somebody is rock climbing, rappelling, or even hiking, they could become injured or in a position where they're stranded, where they can neither go up nor down. We have to have the means to get to those people and rescue them. Ladders aren't necessarily going to reach high enough, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I'm saying. So if you look up top, we've got Matt on that roof. He's going to start our demonstration. Say Matt's working his way down a sheer cliff face in the Adirondack Park, or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets himself to a spot he wants to be for a while. He's going to take that rope and wrap it around his 8. Not once, not twice, but thrice. This is the tie-off. Once he's tied off, Matt can go hands-free. He can invert. He can literally and figuratively hang out. Very nice. He can get his cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anyone else still running MySpace? Just me and Matt? Oh, Trooper Bender. ATIS handler, that's cool. He is of that age. But say Matt's up here enjoying himself, and a rock kicks loose and hits him in the head. At this point, I'm going to ask for a couple kids to step forward. Any kids want to, there you go, see that rope there? It's there for your safety. Go ahead and ignore that. Come on up. Watch out for the horse stuff. Everybody grab one water balloon each. There you go. Close one water balloon each. And get right up under him. Get right up under him. I'm pretty sure he's got a decent tie-off. What could go wrong? We're going to run out eventually, guys. Please don't cry when we run out. It's going to make me... All right, guys, that's it. We're out of water balloons. Thanks for trying. Everyone else, get up there. Let them have it if you got a water balloon. Let them have it. No. Oh. There's some stink on that monkey. There's some heat. All right, I think that's it. All right, folks, let's hear it for our rocks. Oh, almost. Shooter of the grassy knoll. All right, guys. Let's head back over. Have a seat, my man. You're good. That's it. I lure them out here, and then they think they're in here for the rest of the show. It's my bad. Hey, Ryan, next year, lawn darts. Okay? A lot more kinetic energy, a lot more accuracy. All right, but Matt's been knocked out in this scenario. We can't leave him up there. We've got a lot of time and money invested in Matt's training, and Trooper Bender and I need someone to talk to on MySpace. So if you look all the way up top, we've got the big salmon, Chris. Chris is going to work his way down his line. He's going to latch hands on Matt, and he's going to hopefully bring them both down to safety. Come on down, Chris. Ooh, sure shot again.
Hands to myself.
All right, we choose all our own music out here. Bold choice for Chris. Obviously comfortable in his own skin. There's that body language again. What's the matter, Chris? You're not coming down to this. This is not your selection? It does look like Matt's selection. He's digging it. DJ Corndog. I think he's going to need something different to come down to. Otherwise, he's not going to do it. Hold on, he's got something for you, brother. Oh my goodness, crisscross, blast from the past. She's digging it. I love it. Chris wishes he wore his clothes backwards today. As Chris Ellis out and comes down, you're going to notice he's got a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. He's not running an 8 anymore. He's running what's called a break bar rack. This is going to allow Chris to take additional weight onto his system. That additional weight in this case is going to be Matt. Chris stops slightly above Matt. He's going to perform a tie-off so he can go hands-free. Once he's tied off, he reaches for that blue pick-off strap on his left hip, designed specifically for rope rescue operations. He uses a partial inversion and his impressive wingspan, thank you Vanna, to hook into Matt's harness. Once he's locked into Matt's harness, he'll go ahead and use those bulging biceps that he somehow shoehorns into an extra medium t-shirt. Large? Not in the men's section, it's not. You can see how Matt instinctively reaches for Chris's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we'd ask no photographs be taken. Thank you. You can see how Matt's line has gone slack. That's an indication that his weight has been removed from his system. Now Chris is working to remove him from his line and secure all his hardware so it doesn't fall on anyone below. Once he's got him free of his line, he's going to undo that tie-off and hopefully lower them both safely to the ground. Looks like he nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pick-off. All right, we've gone over basic rappelling. We've showed you the safety measures we have in place. We've gone over a small percentage of the rescue work that we are capable of. However, there's also a tactical application to the rope work we're demonstrating here today. Say, for example, if they're a bad guy creeping around these fairgrounds. He snatches up a kid, goes up in that tower and barricades the door shut. Horrible choice of location on his part, but I digress. So now he's got that door nailed shut. He feels real confident we're not going to be able to breach it. Unfortunately for that bad guy, the Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we count on all our other partners on the job. All the men and women that you see walking around these fairgrounds in the gray uniform and the Stetsons, those are the road troopers. That is the most important and dangerous job in the Division of State Police. They're showing up on these calls, chaotic scenes, oftentimes by themselves, getting people to safety and locking them down. Then they call in their supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and all our partners in special operations, to include K-9 and aviation. Once we get on these scenes, we all work together as a team, and that allows us to do our job. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Cal, who's ready to run the recon. Cal is careful to land very gently on that roof. He switches brake hands and works into the commando crawl. He's going to start checking windows for the hostage and hostage taker. He's checking that top one. Oh, somebody got surprised. They did not care for that. Oh, that young lady is not impressed. Uh-oh. She's taking a second look now. Reconsidering. Oh, she's amorous and aggressive. Oh, no way. Swipe left. Get out of there, Cal. Now that Cal's out of the real danger, he lowers himself down and sees where the suspect and the hostage are. Now he reaches up for that canister on the side of his harness. That's a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashbang. That's going to emit a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the suspect while he sees the initiative. Looks like Cal's ready with the bang, and it looks like we're ready for Cole to effect the rescue. Cole's in the window. The suspect comes out, a front kick into a pile driver, so the people's elbow, and then here it comes, the suplex, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that guy is in custody. Nice work, Cole. But where's the kid? Timmy, the kid, the reason he came down the road? Yeah. There he is, he's okay. Another save for Cole Sheetal. Let's hear it for Cole. He's 31-0, he's a real hero. Just ask him. Folks, hopefully you've had a good time hanging out with us here today. Hopefully you can tell that we have a good time out here. We love working on this awesome tower, interacting with you good people. The State Fair represents a real nice break for us. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business that we are involved in. If you look along that roof line, there's 4 sets of numbers. Those are the shield numbers for troopers Michael Strenk, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men were operators on our team who died in the line of duty. They made the ultimate sacrifice serving the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause this afternoon. You guys have been a great audience. We really appreciate it. Feel free to come forward after the show. We'll answer questions, pose for pictures, tasteful of course. We got stickers for the kids. Go ahead, hit up the museum and the interactive displays, both very interesting and air conditioned. And you got the Trooper Foundation, the NYST PBA for all your state police swag. Thanks again for coming out, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair.